Are you ready to break through any barrier or limiting belief holding you back? Ready to embrace your full potential and achieve your greatest success? Ready to get noticed and become the champion you were born to be? Then buckle up, because you've come to the right place. Greetings, champions. I'm your host, Master Coach Rich Grogan, and I am truly blessed you're here today. And man, do we have another amazing show lined up for you today. Well, this is our Christmas show. Yeah, I've got my, you can see it here, my St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup Christmas hat on. Yay! And those that aren't Blues fans, hey man, I get it. Nobody's perfect. Boom. How's that for a right hook of reality? Well, Merry early Christmas, or Merry Christmas to you whenever you're listening to this. Thank you so very much. And I want to personally thank each and every one of our thousands of subscribers that continue to come back for every show, every episode, every post, every video we're doing. Thank you so very much. And if you're here for the very first time, man, oh man, I cannot truly thank you enough for taking time out of your busy day to be with us. I promise I'm going to give you everything I've got, because my mission is be the mentor that I always wanted and needed in my life. So I'm going to do everything I can to empower you with that warrior confidence, to build that belief in yourself, develop that mindset of a champion, help you embrace your full potential to be the hero, leader, and champion that you, right there, were born to be. All right, so what are we talking about today? Well, this is episode number 387, and I titled this one, The Greatest Gift You Can Give is Be the Best Version of Yourself. And right there, that's what we're talking about, being the gift to you. And you've heard me talk on countless episodes about all respect starts with what? Self-respect. If you don't respect yourself, it's nearly impossible to respect anything or anyone else. Also, if you don't respect yourself, you will allow others to disrespect you. Woo! I know. I mean, that's coming in hot, isn't it? So think about this. What is the absolute very best gift you could give to yourself, you right there, this holiday season, this Christmas season? What is it? Well, I'll tell you what, while you're thinking about it, drop it in the comments. What is it? Well, I'm going to share with you what I believe is the best gift you can give yourself, and that is being the best version of yourself. Each and every day, try and be a better version. Now, I get comments all the time, and a recent comment that popped up was, hey, man, you think you got this all figured out? You act like you know everything about everything. Well, if I come across that way, I'm truly sorry. That's never my intentions. I try and be as humble and as transparent as possible. Now, truth be told, I have figured out a few things over the years. That's what happens when you surround yourself with a higher group of people, because for the longest time, and I share this openly, up until 2012, I didn't know I could read because I chose not to. I mean, somehow I got a degree in kinesiology education and became a PE teacher. That was, well, I mean, I had to take a lot of the kinesiology courses and, do a lot of papers and research and all this other stuff. But all in all, that was pretty darn fun. But my point is, after that, I'm like, oh, there's nothing for me to read. What am I going to learn? I was 42 at the time. Well, you talk about a closed mind. You talk about peaking or hitting your ceiling. Well, that's where I was until I started. Well, I wanted, as like, man, I know there's more out there. I know I can do better. I want to learn, but who do I turn to? And there's nothing wrong with the group of people I was surrounding myself with. It's just that they were always, just content having the regular jobs, doing the regular stuff, and that's fine. But I knew I needed to do more. And so started going to these different conferences, started surrounding myself with a different group of people. And what I found, each and every one of them had one thing in common. They all did something I'd never even heard of before. Self-educate. Self what? Self-educate. Continuously learning, reading books, attending conferences, surrounding yourself with a different group of people. And then I learned something that I'd never heard before either. I mean, it's amazing. Wow. That if you're the smartest person in the room, or you're the smartest person at the table, then you're at the wrong table or in the wrong room. Now, I really never had that problem, so that wasn't ever a problem. But it's all about raising your expectations, raising your standards. Now, at the Martial Arts Academy, I continue to do my very, very best to be in the best physical shape I could. I continued to do my best to promote the academy, do everything I could, teaching the best classes I could. But I had also left out that mental side. And to be honest with you, the spiritual side wasn't where it should have been either. I had the physical side, baby. I was rocking and rolling. I like to say, and we've got in martial arts, we call the triangle, the martial arts triangle, mental, spiritual, and physical. But the triangle has to be in balance for you to be in balance. And it certainly wasn't. So back to the initial question. What is the greatest gift you can give to yourself? To be your very best self. Now, here's another thing, and athletes out there, especially today on social media, we're all seeing everybody else's post on Instagram, Facebook. You're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on a podcast app, and you automatically, it goes there that, oh, that person's got it all figured out. They don't have any struggles. They don't have any troubles. Well, man, I've got all kinds of problems. Well, here, wham, right hook reality for you. We all got struggles, troubles, and problems. We're all just trying to figure these things out. But I promise you, by continuously self-educating, surrounding yourself with a different group of people, being humble enough and wise enough and willing enough to learn, man, you're going to continue to elevate you to be the best you can be. Now, Teddy Roosevelt once said, comparison is the thief of joy. And what does that mean? It means when we get in a comparison trap, and that's exactly what it is, it steals our joy. It steals who we are. If we're comparing ourselves to somebody who we perceive is doing so much better than we are, we put ourselves down, saying, oh, I'll never be that good. Or for our hockey players out there, I'll never score as many goals as he can. I'll never be as fast. Oh, for entrepreneurs, I'll never make as much money as they will. Well, we have no idea what they went through. Now, if you're humble enough, you can learn, but don't put yourself down. And now, on the other side of the comparison trap is, well, I may not be where I'm at, but son of a gun, at least I'm not as bad as that guy. Well, now what are we doing? We're putting someone else down, but at the same time, we're also stymieing our growth. We're saying, well, I may never be there, but at least I'm not there. Okay, I'm just good enough right here where I'm at. And that's fine if that's where you want to be. But if you're listening to this show, I know it's not. I know you want to continue to level up, level up, level up. And when I say level up, I'm talking you continuously raise your standards. You rise up to those expectations, and you get there, well, man, you're going to raise them up again. You get there, you're going to raise them up again. And that's continuous. You're trying to be a better person today than you were yesterday. And tomorrow, you're going to be a better person that day, tomorrow, than you were today. Now, does that mean each day you're going to be better? No, I mean, you're going to have struggles and challenges and this and that. And here's the thing. And here's another right hook of reality for you, lighten you up here on Christmas here. Another present, so to speak. A man with few failures is a man who hasn't lived. And to follow that up, I like to say a champion is not someone who's never failed before. A champion is someone who's failed over and over and over and over again, but refuses to give up. They get back up each and every time. So if you're not experiencing challenges and setbacks and failures, it means you're really not pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Because if you got it all figured out, that's great for where you're at right now. But what you are and what you know right now is not going to take you to where you want to go. One of my favorite quotes of all time from Zig Ziglar is, you are what you are and where you are by what's gone into your mind. To change what you are and where you are, you got to change what goes into your mind. Meaning, you got to continuously self-educate, listen to podcasts like this. And of course, if you find value in this, and I know most teenagers don't listen to podcasts, but gosh darn, I mean, think about how it would accelerate them if they were listening to messages like this, planting seeds right now into their mental garden. Adjust my Christmas hat there. Yeah, and that's my whole goal, being the mentor. And back to something I mentioned earlier, do I have it all figured out? No, I certainly don't. But I do know I'm a better person today than I was yesterday, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But I know the person I am today has to continue growing. So next week, next month, next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, then I'm not where I'm at right now. Continue growing and learning. So that's your engagement question. Think about the greatest gift. I've kind of given you the answer, but here, what are you going to do to continuously level up? What are you going to do to give yourself the best gift possible? And here's something we often forget. When we're not at our best, when we're not continuously getting better and learning and growing, it's not like, well, I'm about the same. No, you're actually getting worse because you have less time on this planet. And as things change and evolve, if you've got kids or you're a coach, are you becoming your very, very best to help mentor and guide them, helping them learn from your mistakes? And that's my whole point of the show here, to be the mentor, but to share openly my goof-ups, my screw-ups, my mistakes, and they're countless. I mean, I've had far more goof-ups, failures, mistakes, and losses than I have successes. But those successes, after putting in all the work and all the grind and doing everything, learning, being humble, picking myself back up, you tend to learn a few things. Now, I bring that up because another comment I get often is, "Man, how do you stand in front of the camera and do those podcasts and those video blogs and you seem so confident when you're projecting these things, but at the same time, you talk about you don't have it all figured out." I see other people online that they seem like they're all perfect. Well, believe it or not, years ago when I first started doing the podcast and the video blogs, I thought I had to be like, I got it all figured out. And then, of course, mental bully in my mind was, man, you're kind of a fake here because you're a mess yourself. So I asked my mentor, and that's another thing, have mentors in your life. Now, I'm grateful you're listening to this. Maybe, hopefully, I'm mentoring you. But my mentor, Chris Widener, has been a mentor for years upon years upon years. His whole thing was, look, if you're like one chapter ahead of somebody else in this thing called life, you can teach them and everybody that isn't up to your level right now. But always be humble and willing to learn and then share openly your mistakes. Therefore, you're relatable, number one. And number two, you constantly remind them, look, I'm growing, I'm learning, I ain't got it all figured out. But gosh darn it, I learned a few things over the years. And guess what? You're the same. Now, our talents are different. Don't get in that comparison trap like we talked about. And another thing I like to tell hockey athletes all the time, and I want you right there to listen to this. You are a priceless original. You are one in over 8 billion people on this planet. So don't try and be a cheap replica of someone else. Now, it doesn't mean we can't learn. It doesn't mean we can't share the experiences that we've learned from someone else. Hopefully you learned something from me on this show today that you can share. But just tweak it a little bit. Put it into your words. Base it upon your experiences. And then share it with someone else. But don't be a cheap replica. Now, doesn't mean we can't admire others. We can't set others like, man, I want to, maybe have a show like Rich has got there, or maybe I want to be the coach like so-and-so, or I want to be the athlete like this person. That's great. Use those as kind of a benchmark or a standard, but I can never be you and you can never be me. And why would you want to be a cheap replica of me? I certainly don't want to be a cheap replica of you. I'm going to learn from you and grow from you, but I'm going to be the priceless original that I was born to be. Now, as I mentioned on social media, we get into that comparison trap. I bring that up continuously because you know what? If I'm not careful in the mind, and that's what the mind does, it's going to fill you with self-doubt. It's going to start telling you, who the heck do you think you are, jumping on there and talking to people like you know what you're talking about? Well, I like to think I know a thing or two. That's why I'm focusing on my area. My area of expertise, building that warrior confidence. Now, for those new listeners, what is warrior confidence? Warrior confidence is taking confidence to the highest level possible, but at the same time knowing that confidence is a fragile thing. But you've got the warrior heart that you're willing to go into battle, so to speak. And some days, a lot of days, feel like you're going into battle, but you got that heart of a warrior. And you know that there's a good chance that you're going to have a setback. You're going to have a failure. You're going to come up short. But you have that warrior confidence in order to say, you know what, bring it on, baby. I get knocked down. You better hit me harder than that because I'm getting back up. I get knocked down again. You better freaking hit me harder than that because I'm getting back up again. And that's the attitude. I call that an attitude of excellence. And that's here's something I tell the hockey players all the time when they go into. I say, when you step on that ice, your mindset, your attitude, your mentality, your warrior heart, and then that work ethic of an underdog champion is above anybody else. You step on there with that determination that you're going to win every puck battle, win every shift, and win every period. That's the attitude. That's the attitude of excellence. Now, does that mean you're going to win every puck battle, every shift, every period, every game? Absolutely not. But I promise, with that attitude, you're going to win far more than you lose. And you're going to continuously do that. And I say, when you take a face off, your whole idea, you're looking at that person across from you, let them know, hey, we're going to battle right here, right now. I used to fight in martial arts a lot. The eyes, I'd look right at that person, and I would pretty much tell with my eyes, I hope you're bringing it today because I'm freaking bringing it. I'm giving you everything I've got. And that's out of respect, but also respect for myself, my instructors, training partners, and everybody else that I've got to bring my very, very best. Now, did I win every time? No, I had lost a lot. But I like to say, if you learn something from it, you didn't really lose overall. You may have lost that battle or that competition or that fight or that face-off or that puck battle. But if you learn from it and grow, that's learning. John Maxwell's got a great book called Failing Forward. That's what you're doing. Not failing backwards. Oh, I always fail. I suck. I'm terrible. And I've went through those pity parties before. That gets you nowhere. That's not helping you be the best version of yourself. Good? Woohoo! Man, we're fired up. Have I thanked you for listening and tuning in? because thank you so much. Well, let's jump into our warrior confidence tips. I got to talking there and almost forgot what they are. So warrior confidence tip number 1 is choose positivity even when it's hard. Woo. Now, is it easier to be negative in today's day and age and world and culture and social media? Absolutely. Because it seems like there is so much negativity out there. What do I want for you? I want you to believe in you and stand out from the crowd. I tell the hockey players all the time and other athletes I work with, look, it is easier than ever to get noticed for doing the right thing. Why? Because so few are willing to do it. What do you have to do? Be respectful, first and foremost to yourself, self-respect. Work harder than everyone else. Now, you can't control your talent level. You can't control your, I'm 5'7". I was always one of the smallest, shortest guys on every team I played on. And when I fought, I always had to fight those guys that are 6 foot tall. I could never control that. But what I could control was my attitude going in, my attitude in preparation, and the amount of effort I chose to put in. And you know in your heart if you're dogging it. You know in your heart if you're not giving your very, very best. You know in your heart if, athletes, if you're looking over your shoulder to see if the coach is watching. And here's a little thing I like to say. When the coach isn't looking, that's when he's watching the most. What does that mean? That means every time you think about, I'm going to take it easy on this shift. I'm going to take it easy on this drill and practice. I'm going to take it easy. Nobody's watching me in the gym or during my pregame preparations. What's it really matter? Well, you're planting a seed in your mind that you don't really matter. You're lacking discipline. You're disrespecting yourself. And guess what? What you put in is what you get out. Back to Zig Ziglar, one quote that I heard from him I guess brought up in a presentation, and it was, you cannot stand in front of the wood stove and tell the wood stove, give me heat, and then I'll put some wood in. No, you got to put the wood in first before you get the heat, right? Well, the same thing. You got to put the effort in. You got to have the right attitude. You got to do the preparation, the planning, the practice in order to get out the results you want in games. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just, man, I hope I get better. I hope I become a leading goal scorer. I hope I'm a better person today than I was yesterday. Man, you can hope all you want. Now, hope's a powerful thing, but hope has to be followed up with the right attitude, right effort, right actions, right determination and resilience, and that warrior confidence. Because once again, you're probably going to have a setback. So what does positivity do? Well, being positive does not, now listen to this, listen carefully here, because this is also often misconstrued by a lot of quote, quote, motivational, inspirational speakers. Sometimes they'll say, man, with positivity, you can do anything. You can do anything. Well, that's not entirely true. I like to say, think of Shaquille O'Neal, big man, great rebounder in basketball. He'd box everybody out, but he's what, 6'7" or 6'8" or 7? I don't know how tall he is. He's tall, 300 plus pounds. Heck of a good rebounder in basketball. But Shaquille O'Neal, I don't care how much positive thinking he has, he would not be the best horse jockey. Think of that, right? Now, that's not a shot at Shaquille. That's just flat out saying we all have our talents. But with all the positive thinking in the world, and I doubt that Shaquille would be a very good ballerina. I don't know, maybe he would, but I seriously doubt it. But with all the positive thinking in the world, isn't going to change that. However, a positive mindset is going to help you do things a lot better and perform at a much higher level than a negative mindset. Because if you go in there with a negative, I'm terrible. Last time we played this team, we got beat. Oh, nobody likes me. Oh, I really don't believe in who I am. Are you going to perform very well? Absolutely not. You've already lost the fight, so to speak, before you ever stepped into the game. You've lost the game before you ever stepped on the ice because you've already defeated yourself mentally. Be positive. I'm going to give it everything I've got. I am going to go out there and battle like my life depends on it. Why? And I like to say this, and it's, it might be a good time to give a shout out to my new book. There it is. Woohoo! And thanks to you, this became an Amazon new release bestseller. Yes! Thank you so very much. Now, this is the author's copy. Believe it or not, I haven't even got my copies yet. But apparently thousands of others have gotten it because it became an Amazon new release bestseller. Thanks so much. And if you've picked up a copy, please kindly go jump on Amazon and give me that. Hopefully you liked it enough to give a 5-star review. If you didn't, then don't give it any review at all. But of course, we love those 5-star reviews, and that helps get the book out, and others can see that you got something out of it too. And just real quick, the comment on the back, the quote from Brian Sutter, and you can see my Brian Sutter jersey on the wall. And Brian Sutter was, if you don't know, blue-collar farm boy, grew up in Alberta, Canada, played for the Blues. In my opinion, the best Blues captain there ever was. Undersized guy, but grit, resilient, determination, scrappy, fighting. Oh, my gosh, everything. That's why I always wore number 11. And there were 6 Sutter brothers, 5 of which, Brian being the oldest, made it to the NHL. But anyway, the quote I put on the back of the book is, you got to win off the ice before you can win on the ice, because good people make good players. And I like to follow that up. Good players make good leaders, because at some point in time, our playing days are going to be over. And what are we going to be remembered for? And what are we going to continue to do? Well, I want you to be the mentor you always needed in your life, right? All right, good stuff. So anyway, kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh, it's just about positivity, right? Going out there with that attitude of excellence that I'm going to give it all I've got. I'm determined to win every puck battle, every shift, every game. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you're going to have far more success with that attitude than you are with anything else. Well, the same thing being the present to yourself. You're going to tell yourself, look, I'm going to do the best I can today. If I don't hit my expectations, my goals, my standards today, it's all right. I'm going to stay positive. I know I've moved along further today than I was yesterday, and I'm going to continue that process. I'm going to continue moving and growing, because we're all human. There's going to be days when you just flat out don't feel like it. There's going to be days when you just, whatever you do, it doesn't work. But the negative way would be think, man, I'm just terrible. I ain't going anywhere. Everything I do, I fail. Or you could say, well, you know what? I found all those ways that don't work. It's kind of back to the Thomas Edison comment he'd mentioned. Somebody said, man, you failed like 9,999 times making a light bulb. And then Thomas Edison said, no, I found 9,999 ways that didn't work. But by staying persistent, I finally found the one that did. And now we've got light. Yay. All right, moving on. Number 2 of the Warrior Confidence Integrity tips is be the engine, not the anchor. Now, what does that mean? Well, think of what an engine does. An engine pushes, it drives, it propels the car, the airplane, whatever, forward. An anchor pulls back, holds you back. Doesn't allow you to break free. Now, think about your group of influence. Who are you surrounding yourself with? And who are you in that group? Are you an engine? Are you driving and pushing and motivating and empowering others to leap forward, to drive forward, to reach higher levels of success? And is your group of influence doing that for you or to you? Or are you an anchor? Are you always talking about negativity, always talking about gloom and doom, always jealous and envious of other people's success? And jealousy, to me, that's the weakest human emotion on the planet. Now, that doesn't mean in the past I haven't been envious and jealous. I say that because I just know that never did anything to help me get to the next level. It justified my excuses for not working hard enough. It justified my excuses for having a bad attitude. And oh yeah, I've had all those things. I'm being transparent. I just know that was the life I lived, and this is the life I want to live, but I can't allow that, the anchors, myself a lot of times was the anchor in my own life and the people I surrounded myself with. I can't allow them to hold me back. I've got to move forward. And am I going to have other setbacks, other failures? And am I going to have thoughts of envy and jealousy? Yeah. However, here's the thing. If you constantly are fighting that, and if you haven't heard the story of the 2 wolves yet, I talk about it briefly in my new book, but I go in depth. Shout out to my books here. And Becoming Bully Proof, another Amazon bestseller, thanks to you. The story of the 2 wolves goes like this. Every day, there's 2 wolves fighting for domination in our mind. There's a good wolf, positive, confidence, belief, the engines in our life. Always looking for the good, always looking for that next level, that next standard, always trying to get to that next level. That's the good wolf. They're motivated, they're inspired, and they're ready to go. And on the other side, we got the bad wolf. Fear, self-doubt, negativity, jealousy, envy. That wolf is always comparing yourself to someone who's doing better than you, telling you you'll never be that good. Oh, they got lucky. You're just not, well, how many times? Oh, I just wasn't born in the right family. And that, I don't have time to go into that today. That is a whole nother podcast we talked about before. And I share all kinds of different examples. But anyway, you got two wolves fighting for domination. Some days the good wolf wins. Some days the bad wolf wins. But every single minute of every single day, those two wolves are battling. Now, how do you know which wolf wins? Well, the answer's simple. It's the wolf you feed. You feed that negativity, that fear, that self-doubt, those limiting beliefs, that envy, that jealousy, that oh, poor pity me. You feed that wolf is going to dominate your life. It's going to control everything you think, everything you do. And it's going to control the outcome and the results of your life. However, you feed that good wolf. You feed that good wolf of positivity, that good wolf of warrior confidence, that wolf of, I've got a champion's mindset. I got an attitude of excellence. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep striving. I'm going to keep battling. I don't care how many times I fail, how many setbacks I have. I'm going to keep going. You keep feeding that wolf is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And before you know it, that wolf is going to take all the feedings, right? And it's going to starve the bad wolf to death. Now, here's the thing about that bad wolf. That bad wolf seems to always be there, especially at your weakest moments, when you're tired, when you're not feeling your best, after a defeat, a setback, or a failure. That bad wolf's going to come calling. That's the battle in your mind. And if you start feeding that bad wolf, you start buying into that bad wolf will start dominating and starve out the good wolf. Woo! So, back to the engines and the anchors. Are you an engine? Are you an anchor? Are you surrounding yourself with engines or anchors? Another comment I get all the time. Yeah, dude, man, you make it sound so easy, but you understand, I can't just tell my friends that I've known for 20, 30, 40 years, or teenagers say, I've been friends with them for 4 years, man, all through high school. I can't just ditch them. I'm not saying you ditch them. What I'm saying is you got to decide on where you want your life to go. And if they're taking you in a path that's not helping you become the best person you're meant to be, the hero, the leader, the champion, then you probably need to start distancing yourself from them. You know what I mean? You don't go cold turkey and just say, hey, man, I listened to this podcast with Master Coach Rich Grogan, and he told me I can't hang out with you no more because you're not good for me. You're an anchor in my life, so I'm cutting the ties. You ain't got to go about it that way. But I am saying at some point in time, I would cut those ties and start surrounding yourself with a different group of people, because who you spend time with is who you become. We are a percentage of the 4 to 5 people we spend the most time with. And I promise you, you spend the majority of your time with 4 or 5 anchors, you're going to be the 5th one. No doubt about it. You spend your time with 4 or 5 people that are smoking, drinking, have no ambitions in life, you're going to be the 5th one. However, you spend your time with those that have goals, have dreams, have aspirations, are the engines in your life. They're feeding the good wolf. Before you know it, well, one, if you surround yourself with anchors, you're going to feel bad about talking about your goals, dreams, and aspirations because you don't want to make them feel bad. And you almost feel like you're bragging. You get together, hey, what are you guys working on? Oh, my job sucks. Work sucks. Oh, I can't get along with my wife and kids and da-da-da-da. And you think, well, man, I don't know. I love my wife and love spending time with my kids. I just read this book. I'm trying to work out a deal with USA Hockey on getting our program in the hands of as many athletes as possible. But I'll probably hold back because and I'm not saying you brag and boast in front of those people. But if you can't share your goals, dreams, and aspirations with your peer group that you're hanging around with the most, that's anchors, man. I know. So, man, this is supposed to be a Christmas show. You got your Christmas hat on, and now you're making me feel bad. No, I'm helping you open the best gift in the whole wide world, and that is the best version of you, because that's what I want for you. And here's something I tell the players all the time. Look, I'm going to give you everything I've got at practice, everything I've got during the locker room speeches, everything I've got on the bench, but I can't want it more than you want it. I can't get out there and play for you. I want to. They won't let me. You got to do it. And as much as I want it for you, I can't do it for you. You got to want it more. Can you do it? Absolutely. Are you going to do it? That's a question you have to answer. Woo! There's a couple shots, isn't it? Like say right hook of reality followed by left uppercut of truth. And we're going to keep the punches rolling here as soon as I grab a drink. You know, my second grade teacher said, Richie talks too much. And she's right. I got a bit of a talking problem. But that's good for you, right? Well, I hope so. If you're still here listening, thank you so much. Well, hey, before we get to the Warrior Confidence tip number 3, shout out for my book. Thanks again. Just a quick one. But go to Amazon.com or you can go to getmoreicetime.com. Getmoreicetime.com and pick up a copy. Get a copy of my other book. It's becomingbullyproof.com. Joop. There it is. Good stuff. And of course, our hockey program, which I actually am revamping a little bit. But right now, you can get the How to Get More Ice Time program. The masterclass video is only $9. $9. It's a Q&A type format, 45-minute video. It's for players, parents, coaches, and leaders and organizations. And it's a good little conversation. It's a Q&A back and forth. The interviewer asked me a ton of questions, and we go through and explain all those questions. And it's meant to help you get more ice time. Help your kiddo get more ice time, which is what every hockey player wants, what every parent wants for their hockey player. Now, the whole concept about how to get more ice time is universal for how do you get anything you want in life. Be respectful, put in the work, communicate like a champion. Man, I tell you what, you'll develop those leadership qualities to stand out from the crowd, and you will get noticed. Can you do it? Yes. Are you going to do it? I sure hope so. The links are in the description box. And if you've already picked up a copy of the book or the program, throw it in the comments. Let me know. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, ring that bell, and make sure you drop your comments. If you're listening on a podcast app, man, we love those 5-star reviews as well, because that helps us put us higher in the search engines. All right, moving on. Warrior Confidence tip number 3 is give the gift of gratitude. Woo! Oftentimes, and I'm, once again, plenty guilty of this, I say these things because I need to hear it myself. And here's the thing. The more I talk about these things, the more it's a reminder of, oh, I better make sure I'm doing that. Oh, you know what? I could probably do a little better job with that. It's a good reminder. And that's the cool thing that I'm encouraging you to do, to be a mentor to someone else. It also reminds you to stay in check. So the gift of gratitude, what is that? Be grateful and thankful for the things you have. I mean, oftentimes we're all about, we hit this goal, man, I'm on to the next one. We hit this goal, I'm on to the next one. We hit this goal, I'm on to the next one, which is good. I'm encouraging you to keep being that engine, keep driving forward, keep achieving higher levels of success. But at the same time, don't forget to stop. Be grateful and thankful, especially right now, around the holiday Christmas season. I had to tell myself, because I've got a few different things I'm working on that I want to get done. And I'm like, wait a minute, man, it's Christmas time. Let's shut this down. Let's make sure we do our podcast, which I'm behind on. And no excuse is a good excuse. But here's a good time to mention thank you to you, to everyone out there listening, for all the love and support. I recently, well, it was like, what was it? Oh, 2 weeks ago today, had surgery. And I had a double hernia. So I didn't realize I had 2. I knew I had 1. It's tear in the lower abdominal area, and my intestines are poking through. It had been bothering me for some time, so I finally got it worked on. And boy, oh boy, I was sore for several days. I didn't realize, like I said, I had 2. But anyway, got all that cleared up. But thank you so much to everyone out there who sent the love, the prayers, the messages, the texts, calls, and everything else. I'm truly grateful. So thank you for that. And being the best version of yourself is, man, push yourself. But then I was a little bit of a knucklehead. I thought I was in my 20s again, and that's how I tore it. So be a little wiser than I've been. So back to the gratitude and the gratefulness. Be grateful for those. Be grateful where you are today compared to where you were. Now, those listening, I'm a Christian. I was baptized in December 17th, 2017. I openly wear my cross as a reminder to continuously be grateful and thankful for things I get, because I forget it too. I'm always moving for the next one. But show that gratitude, because what that does is, especially because you're going to have pitfalls, you're going to have things that, man, what do I have to be thankful for? Man, if that creeps into your head, that bad wolf starts, craving to eat, what do I have to be thankful for? Oh man, you got to shut that thing down. Just look around. If you're watching this, obviously, or listening to this, you've got access to a cell phone of some sort, right? Yeah. And if you've got a job, put you ahead of a lot of people. You got gas in your car. You got food in the fridge. You got a warm bed to sleep in. If your wife, kids, family are healthy and happy and safe, man, once again, if you're able to pay your bills on time, all those little things, just be grateful for that. And I promise, what you look for, you'll surely find. Where have I read that before? Yeah, you look for the negative. You feed the bad wolf, you're going to have more negative to think about. And that bad wolf's going to go to town. However, you feed the good wolf, doesn't mean you're going to, every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows. Matter of fact, as Rocky says, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean, nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. Yeah, world's tough. But guess what? You're tougher. You can overcome. You can battle through. You can succeed. But you have to make the choice. Which wolf are you going to feed? Are you going to be grateful? Are you going to show gratitude? Promise, it'll come back to you. Good? All right. Well, hey, what an episode. I was like, I was going to get into something else, but it's like, wow. And we're coming to the end here. But I just want to say again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy day to be with me today. Just a quick recap. Um, Throw in the comments something you're grateful for, or throw in the comments what you're going to do for you to be the best version of yourself. Or if you don't want to write all that out, just throw a Christmas box emoji in there and, Merry Christmas. Sound good? All right. Quick recap of the three Warrior Confidence tips. Number one, choose positivity even when it's hard. And it's going to be hard. Choose the positivity. And that's all about feeding that right wolf. Number two, be the engine, not the anchor. The engine in your own life and the engine in others' lives, and surround yourself with the engines. Don't surround yourself with the anchors. Now, a lot of people say, hey, but don't you always tell me to help out others? Yeah, I do. I want you to help as many people as you can. However, I don't want you to get engulfed in their pity party, in their downward spiral. You can try and help them the best you can, but you can't let them pull you down. Think of this analogy. If you're climbing the ladder to success, you're climbing, baby. I encourage you, keep one hand on that rung above, reach down with that other hand and pull up as many people as you can. Help them. But don't you dare take both hands off that ladder, because they will pull you down. And it'll be extremely tough to get back up. So yeah, help as many as you can, but don't allow them to pull you down. It's a balance. That's why you got to make sure you're feeding the right wolf. Make sure you're putting the right positive seeds in your mental garden by listening to podcasts like this. And then, of course, sharing it with someone else. So if you don't feel like, man, I'd like to help this person, but I don't know what to do, just share the podcast with them. And as I mentioned earlier, I know teens don't usually listen to podcasts, but gosh darn, if they're serious about developing the right mindset, that champion's mindset, building their warrior confidence, getting what they want in life, then right here, right now, we're planting the right seeds in that mental garden, teaching them to feed the right wolf, teaching them to be the engine, not the anchor, teaching them to show gratitude and thankfulness. It works. It stands out. And it's easier than ever because so few are willing to do it. All right, number three. Well, number three is give the gift of gratitude. And we just talked about that. Good? All right, everybody. Well, hey, thank you so very much. Make sure, if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, please do so. GetMoreIceTime.com. And if you're interested in the program, it's How to Get More Ice Time. The links are in the description box. Just click on those, takes you right there. And from me, my family, from all our family with the Warrior Confidence Hockey brand, I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I really can't wait to chat with you again real soon. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. Until we talk again, you get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Can't wait to read your comments, and I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day, everybody. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Warrior Confidence Unleashed podcast. I am truly grateful for your time. If you found value in this message, please kindly share it with someone else who could also benefit from it, especially teenagers and adult athletes and leaders who are serious about getting noticed, getting more playing time, and leadership roles. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share your comments with us, and we truly appreciate your 5-star reviews, as that helps spread the message even further. Stay connected with us throughout the week on all social media platforms at Real Rich Grogan, and visit our website at warriorconfidence.com for access to all our programs and books. The links are in the description box. Thank you again for your time, and I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day. God bless. Parents, are you frustrated seeing your superstars sit on the bench, getting overlooked and passed over for ice time and leadership roles? I personally know that heartbreaking pain. Well, that frustration ends today. Introducing our How to Get More Ice Time program, the amazing one-of-a-kind program for youth and teenage hockey players that helps them get what they want most, more playing time and more opportunities. And today, exclusive offer, we're selling this thing for only $9. $9. It's a no-brainer. But you got to act now, because this offer won't last, and if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So go to warriorconfidence.com. That's warriorconfidence.com, or simply click on the link in the description box. Buy the program today and help your child get what they want most, more ice time.